Yeah. So as I was saying, in India, parenting is something that just happens. Especially since, first it's like, okay, you have finished your studies, now get married. Now that you're married, have kids, pehla bacha, dusra bacha, and all of us just go with that flow, without really being trained or without realizing that being a parent is a big responsibility. So today we are here. We have Kavita with us, who's going to give us a very different perspective on how parenting and the children, I mean, our children that we raise, and if there are illnesses and diseases, is there a relation between the two? So over to you, Kavita.
Thank you, Dipti, and really appreciate you putting up all this together. And in fact, I was expecting far more people today, assuming that, and again, I'm saying assuming that everybody is having parenting issues.
No, so was I, but I also realized that December is slightly, so I think after this we'll have the next session in Jan, because next Friday is 24th December and then it's 31st December. So a lot of people are in a holiday mood right now.
Okay, no worries. All right. So this topic had come in my mind, when I was doing awareness talks on the Healing Hearts platform, which is my platform. And I was sharing a lot of client-based work with the people who were there in the sessions. And I realized that, as Deepti very correctly said, we get married unknowingly and we even have children unknowingly with absolutely no clue what we have to do with them. And most of the time, it is like whatever our mothers taught us, our parents taught us, we just continue doing that. Because, especially with the first child, we have zero understanding of what we have to do. And on top of that, if you are a young mother, you are completely dependent on whatever your parents are going to tell you. So, while I was working with a lot of children, that is from where I have picked up my research, and I realized what are the issues that the parents are doing at a very probably subconscious level or whatever, but it is causing severe damage to their children. Now, I'll give you a very simple example. When a mother is in an abusive relationship, whether it is physical violence, whether it is verbal abuse, whether it is any form of abuse, and the children are seeing this day in and day out, on one hand, they have fear for the father. And then on the other hand, the mother is giving their children double confusing talks. For example, on one hand, she is saying that, your father is doing this to me, that to me, how terrible he is and all that. And on the other hand, they'll say, but yet he is a very good father. Now, what do you think is happening with this child? What kind of a personality trait will this child have as this child grows up? Anybody?
Confused.
Sorry?
Confused.
Confusion. Majorly confused children. They just don't understand what is happening. And today, if you see today's generation, especially the ones who are having any form of mental illness, whether it is anxiety, whether it is depression, or any other thing, there is so much of confusion in their mind. They don't know what they want. They don't know in which direction their life is going. Nothing. In fact, the first session needs to be done to clear the confusion. Because otherwise, even during the therapy, their mind is not working. Now, when they are constantly in this state of confusion, where on one hand they are seeing abuse, they are seeing violence, and on the other hand, they are also seeing that the mother is saying, oh, but the person is a very nice person, he could be suffering from his own issues, because of which, he's not being able to be the good person that he needs to be. She's giving both all the time this conflicting information. What other thing can happen? Other than confusion?
The child can develop an abusive personality, because abuse and aggression equal love somewhere.
Yes, because now the child has a belief that pain means love. So what kind of relationships and what kind of experiences is this child going to have? In the name of love, it will constantly attract abuse at some level. Or it will become such an aggressive person, so much of anger issues, that person will be like a walking, talking time bomb. Road rage, abusive language, all that will be the trait of this child. Intolerance towards other people's behavior, that will be one very strong characteristic this child will have. And over a period of time, because this child cannot understand what is happening, they even start developing something what is called as a bipolar disease, where they keep swapping between depression and aggression. When they see the mother in the abusive state, it can cause aggression. And when the mother is talking about all the lovey-dovey things, it can cause depression. So my really humble request to all the women who are not in very good relationships. Yes, getting out of relationships is not easy. Separation and divorces are not all that very well taken in this country, even today. But your child is suffering. And you need to look at that. Don't give the child this excuse that I am in this marriage because of you. That's the worst thing you can do to your child. Because the fact is, you're not there because of your child. You have your own personal reasons. So face them. Another thing, especially in our culture, right from the time a girl is born, we start collecting things for her marriage. Only agenda, when the girl grows up, she has to get married, right? So right from the childhood, you all are collecting money, you all are collecting jewelry, you all are collecting God knows what for her, so that she can be married at that appropriate age. What do you think is happening to that girl? What is she growing up with? What feelings, what emotions?
Security and non-belonging. They don't be,
Not feeling belong.
They don't belong to the family.
They don't feel belonged. What else? Do they feel like a burden? I definitely felt like one.
Yeah.
Right? And one very, very terrible thing that happens. They live with a constant sense of obligation. My parents had to do so much for me just to get me married. And this obligation never ever allows them to really be in their self-respect and self-worth. And that is one of the reasons, even when the marriages are so toxic, they are not able to get out of it.
They may even hate femininity, right?
Sorry?
They may even hate femininity.
Of course, who wants to
Being
be a burden?
female, they hate it.
Who wants to be a burden? Who wants to feel so obliged? Who wants to feel that right from the day I'm born, I'm being prepared to just being given away? Nobody likes that. And that is the reason so many girls don't like being a girl. And that is where so many reproductive organs are going for a toss, reproductive system problems are happening. If today we were really to do a research, the maximum reasons behind infertility issues will be they're afraid that they will have a girl child. If you really dig into the case history of these people who are having infertility issues, a lot of them do not want to conceive because they don't know how to handle a girl child. And they will keep going after one treatment after another. But what is the real reason that you're not being able to conceive, even after with so many sophisticated systems and medicines and everything? It's because deep down, you don't want to have a child. You're afraid that what if it is a girl child and it's not accepted? Another very big thing that we are noticing right now, addiction to gadgets, games. If you all have, especially teenagers, how many of you all have addicted children? They cannot sit up at night to study, but they will have video games going on till 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock at night, right?
I think all our kids are in that phase.
Exactly. Any idea, Dipti, why? Earlier, they used to love going out and playing, climbing trees, getting hurt, getting into the mud. But now they want to sit at home and only play games. Because when they go out, they get labeled. They are not accepted. Video games don't reject them. They get a lot of acceptance from those games. I lost once, no problem. I can always do it again. And if I clear one level, I can go to the next level. I'm appreciated over there. There is no rejection. And that's why it's easier to be with gadgets than be with real people. If we could teach self-worth to our children, if we could teach our children to learn to take criticisms in a positive way, you people wouldn't be struggling with your gadgets and your children. And this is something that a child has told me, when I asked him, I said, you can't stay up till 2 o'clock to study. Your parents are so worried. And how come you stay awake till 4 o'clock to play? So first, we went around all those things, it is fun. I get to be with my friends over the online platform from all over the world. I said, let's get to the real reason. I said, what is it that is so fascinating about these games? And very meekly and quietly he said, I get accepted. And it came like, it was a slap on my face. Being a mother of two, it was like a slap on my face also. Because can you imagine this child what it must be going through inside, that it needs to depend on games to feel good about himself. Because when I am there with other children, they are labeling me, they are rejecting me, they are calling me names, they are bullying me. At every level, I'm not accepted. So why bother? And now the new trend has started. Oh, we have no problem, if we have a girl child. And suddenly you see that this girl child is having PCOD, it is having a lot of facial hair and everything. And then when you ask the child what is happening in your space, the child says, oh, my parents love me for who I am. I said, who are you? I am their son. So now we have accepted that it's okay to have a girl child, but we still want to raise her as a son. You have messed up her hormones for the rest of her life. Because she, being a female in a female body, is struggling to be your boy, to be your son. With permission from my client, I had a client who had so much of hair all over her face. It was literally as though she had a beard. Her hormonal problem was so bad that she had to literally do shaving like a man every 2-3 days. Because after one point, the threading wasn't working, the waxing wasn't working, nothing was working. And only when she started accepting herself as a girl, and she really stood up and told her parents, I refuse to be your son anymore, did her hormones get slowly, steadily back to normal. Parents who over appreciate their children. You are the best. Meri aankhon ka tara. God knows what all we speak to them. I know you're going to be that top achiever. I know you're going to get into IIT, IIM and whatever. 95% is also not acceptable. 99.9%. I sometimes ask the parents, 0.1 bhi kyun chhod diya? What do you think these children are growing up as? When constantly parents are telling them that they are the best. Anybody?
I think it's tough for them to take rejection when they step into the outside world.
Yes.
So a lot of issues come up then in workplaces and in relationships because you can't say a no. You're used to being the center of attraction.
Absolutely. That's one side. And how much is the fear of failure?
Yeah, they cannot take failure.
They can't take
And
failure.
a lot of people, yeah, and then they commit suicide also if they cannot achieve.
When the burden and the pressure becomes too much, they can get suicidal. But the biggest issue is that they think so much of themselves that for others to live with them becomes a challenge. Can you imagine a 40-year-old man who is married with a child? The minute the mother comes up in front of him, he wants to go and put his head in her laps and sleep. How is the wife supposed to take that? Is she living with a man or a grown-up child? Just imagine you being in that place. And she used to literally come and tell me in tears, like, she's like, Kavita, I don't know whom am I married to. And that's what I told her. I said, he's a 40-year-old man who has a 5-year-old's brain. He's still not grown up beyond that age where he could put his head in his mother's lap and sleep. To the extent when they go and visit the parents, he will sleep with the mother. He will not sleep with his wife. Why? Because the mother is feeding that ego. You are the best. Nobody is like you. Even your younger brother and sister are not like you. So absolute superiority complex. So the way pulling down your child is not okay, which can make him or her feel inferior and create a lack of self-worth. Even over appreciating your child is not okay. Now coming to money issues, how do we talk about money with our children? And what all issues can it create for them? How do we talk about money? I like that smile on Madhu's face. How do you talk about money, Madhu?
Me, I've adopted a different route. My husband, being the CA of the family, has the typical CA route.
Oh Lord. No, but how do you talk about finances in front of your children?
That. It's always about problems.
Scarcity, lack. So what do you think your child is picking up?
That money makes the world go round. And money is
Money
very
is the most
important.
important thing. It's even important than my mother's peace of mind and my father's health. And what happens to that child tomorrow when he goes out into the world too and starts earning? Huge amount of fear of losing job. Huge amount of fear of failing. Everything becomes calculative. It's like the heart has no place, it's only the head. And these are typically those people who at a later stage in life will come down with high blood pressure. Because all money related issues are to do with your kidneys. Now, on top of that, the poor boys, sons, they have this huge pressure on their head that, they have to earn for the whole family. Now, when they have to earn for the whole family, their self-worth is attached to it. Their respect is attached to it. And how they feel about themselves is also getting attached to it. So if money is good, I feel good. If money is not even a little bit good, I'm down, absolutely. Why? Because now how is the world going to see me? Am I good enough? Am I a man enough? And all these lovely men who are living under this pressure, they can even come down with issues like erectile dysfunctions. They can come up with a lot of sexual problems because them feeling like a man is equal to the money they earn. And God save them when they don't make enough money. How is the family going to respond? That further lowers down their feeling of being a man. Okay, I've given enough for you all to digest. Any questions? Take a nice deep breath. Nothing to zone out here. This was not so that, parents start feeling guilty about how terrible parents they have been. No, this I really wanted to do so that even if something has gone wrong in the past, you can still correct it. If today you are seeing that your child is lacking in confidence, sit with your child and talk. What is that child feeling? Why is that child feeling low on confidence? The only way that you're going to be able to correct anything with your child is talk, talk, talk. The channel of communication needs to be open, no matter what. And it's so funny, on one side we tell our children, be honest. But the minute they are honest, one jhapad we give them. So what message have you given to your child? Should the child be honest or no? Should they start lying? So first you create a confusion and then you say that now you're a liar. So if you don't have the power to listen to their truth, don't tell them to speak the truth till you have created that power. And please understand, I know even today it is happening, people are just getting married and people are just having children because that's how it is supposed to. If I could have my way, like the Aadhaar card, I would make certain amount of therapies compulsory before marriage, after marriage, before children, after children, before the children get married and after the children get married. In fact, I've been being after my husband's life. I said, tell me, whom do I communicate this to? Which department do I need to go and talk to? Don't you think if you all would have sat with somebody neutral and, got a certain amount of awareness before you all got married and after you all got married and before children, after children, you would be more sensible people? At least I think I would be. Because I had zero idea at 21 what marriage is and zero idea what it is to be a mother at 25.
I think none of us have had any idea. We just got married and we had kids.
So that's what I'm saying. We have all royally messed up. So this is not about guilt. This is about realizing that this is what has happened. This is what can happen and how can we correct it. Any questions?
Yeah. Kavita, one question.
Kavita, does this also
One second, one by one. Madhu, yes, you go first.
Yeah, does this also create a need to hoard this insecurity with money? Because I grew up like that, and then I have a very uneasy relationship with money even now.
Yes, of
So
course.
I have this constant need to hoard, whether it's glasses or cups or dishes or clothes. I keep hoarding.
I heard you, and yes, my parents did not allow me to read books. I loved reading. So every book of my school library I had finished. And at that time, if I would tell my parents, I want some money to buy extra books, to read more, for them that was a waste of money. So guess what am I holding right now? Books and books and books. So in fact, there is a joke in my house that give Kavita a credit card and send her to a jewelry shop, she'll come back out empty. Send her with that same card to the bookshop, you are in for trouble. So recently when I shifted houses, there were only 3 suitcases of clothes between 3 people. But there are 12 cartons full of books between the 3 people. And the maid also who was here, who was helping me set up the house, she's like, enough, like, Didi, how many books? Like, I'm tired of setting up books in your house. Like, so this is how it does happen. It does impact us. What you have been denied in the childhood, you will hold as an adult. Yes, Pala, you had a question. I can't hear you. Unmute, please.
What is the cause when a child is not able to focus in their studies?
When they are not able to focus in their studies. Are they able to
Yeah.
focus otherwise?
I don't know, not able to focus at all.
So if they're not able to focus at all, first thing that you need to check is thyroid.
Thyroid. Oh, okay.
Because when children at a very young age pick up thyroid, they are not able to focus. They have very haphazard thinking. So first thing, check the thyroid for the child. And most important, does the child like what they are studying? Or are they studying for the parents?
Not keen to study.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
Not keen to study.
Because it
But
is
other
not of
areas,
the child's interest,
yeah, that's right.
right? So have you tried to find out what are the child's interests?
Painting, handcraft, the kind of thing. But basic education is very important, right?
What do you mean by basic education?
That means going to school, the different levels. That is basic education.
Basic
Then after that,
education
they
is
can
you
decide
need to
what they
be
want
10
to do.
standard pass. You need to know how to read and write.
Yeah, but if we don't well that, what kind of passion we can talk about?
Why? Why can't that child be a painter? Why can't that child be into the creative field?
I don't know.
Pala, do you do any work? I mean, are you a professional or anything?
I was, but now I'm retired. But I'm looking
Okay, what
after
were you
2
doing?
grandchildren.
What were you doing?
I was in the defense.
Yeah, but what work were you doing?
Office work.
Okay, admin work.
What kind of work? Admin work and
Okay,
teaching and
right. Now, did you choose that or was that chosen for you?
it just came. No, not chosen. It just came, flow with me, and I
Okay.
just accepted it.
And did you like whatever you were doing?
Not really.
How
No,
frustrated were you?
I was okay with the work, but the politics is not good because so many males
Politics is
they're
everywhere.
full of-
Go anywhere, it is there.
but they're full of politics.
But did you enjoy your work?
Work, yes, of course, but because of the people and all that, um, it's more stressful actually.
Agreed. So that's what I'm saying. See, when you like your work, you enjoy it, despite the environment, you will be able to survive,
Yeah, I can survive.
right? But if you don't
Yeah.
even like the work and you have this kind of an environment, do you think you would have survived?
No,
And then no matter how
no.
intelligent you are and focused you are, you would have made a mess.
Yeah.
That's exactly what is happening with the children today.
Mm.
We need to help them find out what is their interest and develop that for them. Because again, all you're thinking with education is how much money are they going to be able to earn? Isn't that the ultimate truth?
Possible.
Of course it is. What possible? Of course it is. See, that's what I'm telling you. When we cannot be honest with ourselves, when are you going to be honest with a child?
Because our belief is that you must have the basic education. After that, you can talk about your passion. You can develop your passion further. Of course, you have to make the
That's what I'm
the
saying. But
basic
what is basic
learning.
education? Basic education is being able to speak, write, read.
That is not right.
But if you say that basic education is being an engineer, no, that's not basic
No,
education.
it's not that way.
Then that is you wanting to fulfill
I'm
your
talking,
dream.
yeah. I'm not talking about that kind of level, at least up to a certain standard.
You tell me which standard.
Maybe university?
So graduate?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So along
That
with
is the basic
graduation,
knowledge.
can that child follow also whatever is that child's interest?
Yes, yes. After that,
So
they
help
can
your child
follow
do that.
whatever is
The
the
focus will come on its own. Because then the child is very clear, I just need a degree so that people in my family are going to be happy. So whether it comes with 35 degrees, percentage, or whether it comes with 85%, it doesn't matter. But that's not the story, Pala. The story is you want them to be graduate, you want them to be the acers, you want them to be the toppers, which they cannot fulfill for you.
No,
Because it is
not
not that
necessarily.
child's interest. You have to come down to that acceptance. See, but it's not that my daughter is not intelligent. She's extremely intelligent. But science is not for her. Commerce is not for her. She's very clear, I'm going in for arts. And we have sat down, we have told her with art, these are the possibilities. And now you choose. So number one, the whole pressure of being in the 10th standard has been removed. She's doing the subjects that she's interested in. Now at the end of it, she wants to be an author. Why should I make her learn physics and chemistry till graduation when all that she needs is English? And is that going to make her a bad citizen of this country tomorrow? I don't think so. In fact, she'll be a far more happier child than many of other children because she's doing what she is interested in doing. I don't have to tell her, have you written your books chapter today? It's already done. But because she is being able to do what she's interested in, she understands her responsibility towards her studies and she does that also willingly. So she is learning to balance both the things. I don't need to tell her anything.
Thank you.
Welcome. Stop projecting your ambitions and dreams on your children. Please, for heaven's sake, leave them alone. If a 10th standard failure, Dhirubhai Ambani could find his way, I'm sure our children will get somewhere. Any other question, anybody? Dipti?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. You wanted to say something Pala was saying at that time.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's just that it's a reality of a society that kids need to earn money. And
of course, we need to earn money. I'm nowhere saying that we don't need to earn money. You need money to have a respectful, decent life, 100%. But is this the only way is my question.
That's the question. That is this the, because
this
we have
the
been
only
conditioned to think that education is the only way.
Exactly. Pala, I'm a 12th first year college dropout. And by qualification, I'm an interior designer. What the hell am I doing here as a therapist and a counselor and speaking on this platform? You never know where life is going to take you. You never know that where you started is definitely going to be the end point, not necessarily. My husband is an engineer. He has 8.5 years of IT experience, IT experience, and he was doing very well. And one fine day, he just left the job saying that enough, I can't take this anymore. At such a young age, he had gone into complete burnout. And right now, he's more than happy doing what he is doing, which is he's an intuitive healer. He is doing his share of the business that he needs to do. He's doing his stock market. He's happy. And did he start earning any less than what the company was giving him? No, he's in fact earning more. So please get out of these beliefs that only a certain amount of education is going to give you a certain amount of money. No, you'll have not explored other ways. You're coming down from those age-old beliefs कि job है तो security है, job means money, job means your PPF, and job means your security. Those days are gone. In the last 20 years, the phone changed, houses changed, people changed, relationships changed, everything changed. Why hasn't the way we make money changed? Why has that not changed? Today, bloggers are making money. YouTubers are making money. Why do you feel your child can't do? That's a complete lack of faith in your child. Yes, Bhumi.
Hello, how are
Hi.
you?
I'm good. You tell me.
Yeah, actually, I want to know about my elder daughter. Like, she's doing very much anger, and when she wake up in the morning till night, and matlab, I just whatever she says, I do. Buying toys, giving food, whatever she wants. But then also, I am not able to, just to reduce down or calm down or.
Did she ask that you should do everything that she tells you to do?
No, she says to me, "Ki today I want to eat something different and please make for me." And
And are you giving it to her even if it is unhealthy or not okay?
yeah,
So where are your boundaries as a mother?
no, but I'm not giving her daily. I told her, "Ki beta, this is you can't eat like a maida product daily. But yeah, in a week I can give you 2 or 3 times. That's it." And she understands. She said okay. But now I want to eat chatpata, and every time, most of the time when she was like in angry mode, she asked for that yummy and chatpata food and all. And that time only. Otherwise, so she's okay with all the foods and. But I want that. Like,
So she
she always
basically is
used to
having
say,
anger issues, or is she stubborn?
no, anger, stubborn, everything. She always use one line. Ki,
What?
I want one thing to whom like मैं उसके साथ खेल सकूं और वो मुझे डांटे भी ना कुछ करे भी ना तो I want like that robot kind of thing जिसके साथ मैं पूरे दिन खेल सकूं. Always,
And that's exactly where we had started. Remember, why do children love games today, video games? Because they don't get rejected. Nobody gets angry at them. Nobody tells them what to do, what not to do. So obviously, they prefer that.
No, actually, what happened was like my mother-in-law is also there, and she used to, "Yare, ये तो पूरे दिन गुस्सा करती रहती है, ये वो तो वो बोलती रहती है." I always say कि please you don't handle, I will handle. But then also, cribbing, and the child also listens. I also know that she is listening, but she is not understanding. And then also सब मेरे को गुस्सा करते रहते हैं. अब उसका क्या हो गया ना कि कुछ भी होता है अब सब मेरे ऊपर गुस्सा करेंगे अब सब मेरे ऊपर गुस्सा करेंगे like that. So I'm not able to just manage that whole situation. Like
First,
how to
Bhumi, how old is your daughter?
she's 9,
Right.
just completed.
So she is a little grown up, right? It's not that she's
Yeah.
absolutely 2 years or something.
No.
Have
She
you
understands.
spoken to her that why is she getting so angry? What is
Oh,
making her angry?
I spoke also, but then she said, "Hey, Mama, I don't want to write. My hand got pain, and I don't want to study because I'm not understanding." Then I solved the problem. Ki, "Beta, you will practice." But every time whatever she says, I just try my best to solve that problem. But it's not coming down, it's going up only day by day. And everyone used to tell me, "Arey, तुम मुझे पैसा करोगी और भी करोगी." And I'm just in a total mess. Like, क्या करूं मतलब बिल्कुल.
No. See, no child is just going to get into anger and stubbornness just like that. Right? It has progressively increased, you are saying.
No, from I think 3 years or 4 years, no, from younger age only. She has
That's what I'm saying. It is progressively been there and it has kept increasing the anger, right?
Yes, yes.
Right? So something has definitely happened in her space when she was around 3 years for that anger to get triggered inside her. We need to find that.
No, no,
Why
actually
will a
what
child just start throwing tantrums for no rhyme or reason? Yeah, everybody has a reason behind it.
no, no, when she was small, so I have that high BP issue, but I also don't know at that time. And when she used to, do tantrums and all, so I used to beat her up. She just
There we go. Now
so.
see,
Matlab,
I understand that you were not aware, why you were doing what you were doing, but
yes.
whatever beating has
I
been
am
done,
guilty of that also, but
it has had an impact on her, right? It has definitely had an impact on her.
because she also had that anger issue that time also, and she didn't listen to like my mother is in pain and nothing. But she's like okay, but अब इतना छोटा बच्चा है तो sometimes I also like इसको hostel में भेज दो and all, and I just don't want to see her
Yeah,
face.
Bhumi, so are you realizing you are expecting that a 4-year-old should have understood your pain, but you being at the age that you were, you couldn't understand that it is a child?
Yeah, that time it's my fault. I understand that,
Right?
but how can
So
I
listen to your words. You are saying that my child didn't understand that I'm in pain. How are you expecting a 4-year to understand that?
Yeah.
So first thing you need to understand that the damage is done.
Yeah, I know that.
Now you need to reverse it. But reversing that doesn't mean that you're going to listen to anything and everything she says.
Okay.
Over a period of time, you will have to heal those wounds of her where she has felt unsafe with you.
No, she loves me very much. But whenever she only knows the mama only do everything for me because
Did you
everyone
hear
say
what
no.
I said? I said you need to make her feel safe.
Okay.
This is not about whether she loves you or she doesn't love you.
Okay.
That child did not feel safe at that time when you were not well and you were beating her up. So at that point, that child has made certain beliefs in her head, which has made her such an angry child. And at that time, at 3 years old, she did not know how to express it, right? If you were beating her up and she was angry about it, could she beat you up? So first figure out what is making her angry. Because still you don't understand that, we cannot give you a solution.
So is it kind of therapy or something?
Yes, yes,
we can
therapy
do?
needs to be done over here for you and for your child. Because now your child needs to be given some positive way of releasing her anger. The fact is that she is feeling angry, but she doesn't know what to do with that anger, right?
Yeah.
So we have to give her certain tools where she can release her anger in a proper way without hurting herself or others.
Okay.
And once that energy is off her, then slowly, it's all going to normalize. But first we need to understand what is making her angry. Is my mom not giving me time? So I'm feeling angry. My mom is not listening to me, so I'm feeling angry. My mom says that I'm sitting with you, but she's busy on the phone, so she's getting angry. We need to figure out what is making her angry. It could be something as simple as she realized that my mom can get angry and beat me up. Let me also get angry.
But now I completely stopped.
But she's stuck there, no? When she was 3. How many of us are still stuck in the beliefs that our parents have given us? We all have grown up, right? We are still stuck, no? So the
Yeah.
same way, despite
We
your
are
child
hurting
having
or
become
are
9 years old, she's still stuck, right?
Yeah.
So you have to get
Yeah.
her out of that situation. Yes.
Thank you.
Welcome, dear. Yes, Dipti.
Anybody else has any questions regarding parenting, anything that the child is going through?
I have an interesting reading today, which I happened to read it. In fact, I read it just before this session started. IISc, Indian Institute of Science in Bangalore, it has a known number of suicides throughout the history of IISc actually. You know what they're planning to do this year onwards? They're removing all the ceiling fans.
I read that.
They're closing all the terraces and everything. Basically,
I
they're
think,
going to make cage.
Ishani, we need to write an application to them. You don't need to do anything such stupidities. Just put all your students on some therapy and they'll be fine.
And
But
apparently,
they've
they
already
have
done this in my son's
there
college in VIT Vellore.
I mean,
There's a
can
metal
you
grid.
imagine that is the solution people are coming up with? Like, seriously, like,
and they interviewed the students because there is a therapy center. They're saying bullshit, nothing working there.
well, definitely they need better therapists. That's all I'm going to say.
So I just wanted to just tell you this. Even it's not just the parents. All other institute, everything, they put layers and layer after parents, and they make it sure that this world is not conducive for children to, kind of grow up. It's so.
Unfortunately, we can't do much about the organizations and all that, that is not so much in our control. But even if the parents come to that realization as to what they are doing with their children and they can give them that safety and support, I think a lot can change.
For example, during these two pandemics, my daughter was in 10th. So, how we all like put them to tuitions and, you should get good marks, all kind of business went for a toss. And in fact, she didn't have the board exams and then she still got the number, whatever the observation is. So it's like, it's not a real marks actually because they never wrote the exam, but still you will get it, no? That's the point. Whether you're good or bad, you've never written the exam, still you will get your marks, no? So
your daughter has amazing manifesting powers, I will say.
Yeah, and then that made me change totally. Now I don't even ask her. Yeah, the feeling is somewhere she will reach how she should. So leave everything, just make her feel comfortable and interested in studies. That's it.
Your focus has to be on raising good human beings, not on academically intelligent robots. If they are good human beings, they'll find their way. Teach them to fight it out. Teach them resilience. Teach them that it's okay to fall down 10 times and get up and start again. Because the fact is, we all have done that in our life, haven't we? How many challenges have we faced in these 40, 50, 60 years of our life that we've had? How many times have we fallen and we've grown up? And every time it has only made us a better human being. That is what is, the most required. I think the pandemic has taught us resilience more than anything.
Yeah, totally.
We survived through everything. At one point, I was like, what can I do without my maids? Damn it, 3 months you did everything without your maid, okay? People didn't have money, yet they have survived. People lost jobs, yet they have survived. It was our biggest test of survival. Teach that to your children because that is what is going to help them in the future tomorrow. I mean, last week, on Wednesday, I had this girl and she is 26-year-old and she starts, auntie, I want to commit suicide. I said, okay, chalo, let's both of us go. And she said, why are you coming along with me? I said, let's try. I said, since you've already made up your mind, let's try. She said, no, but first you have to hear me. I said, sure, tell me, what's the problem? That girl, she started this career and she has reached at the top and I'm nowhere. I said, wow, that's a reason for you to commit suicide. Somebody has reached somewhere and you haven't reached. Reason enough? Now, what are the parents doing at that time? Now, what is the background over here? We have given you all the money. We have given you all the luxuries. We've given you the platform you needed. We've given you the education you needed. Why can't you be the best? And I actually felt like picking up the phone and telling a mother, your daughter is planning the best way of committing suicide. Be happy. And now on top of that, they are telling her, okay, fine, if you can't do anything, get married. So I said, now what you couldn't handle, you're telling her husband to handle it. So then tomorrow we'll have 2 depressed people instead of 1. Please change your attitude. This is not working for your children. Get it? Simple question. Do you want to see your child alive, or do you want to see them IITs? And this is coming from my husband also, that I'm telling you, who is an engineer. He's like, gadhe nikalte engineering colleges mein se. Aur kuch nahi. I said, chalo, somebody's accepting that. Because the minute you're out of the engineering college, they are told, forget everything that you've learned in the 5 years. Are they? Then what did you do for 5 years? The organizations and corporates are saying, forget everything that you've learned from 5 years. You have to start all over again. Why? Because practically what you have to do as an engineer has got nothing to do with what you studied. So I'm very happy my daughter wants to become a teacher. At least what she's going to study, she's going to use it. Anything else?
I think
All
everybody
right.
is still taking in the information that you've given.
Yeah, I think you will have to do it one more time after a month. So this part, these many people will have digested, and then we can get to the next round.
So
Please.
Anybody has any other questions?
Talk to your kids. So important to talk to your kids. And please talk to them even about the difficult things, including sex, including porn, including what is intimacy, including relationships. Very important to talk to your children about all these things. Because when the friends are going to give them all this information, trust me, it's going to be crap. It will be information that they have picked up from YouTube, and they're going to give it to your child. Trust me, it's not going to work.
No, it's not. I have been hearing cases of where kids try to solve problems. I mean, they do it from the best of their intentions, but they try and solve problems of their friends, and believe me, it creates such a big mess. I've heard of like girls as young as 17, 18 getting pregnant, and then because they can't tell their parents, so friends have gotten together, crowdfunded, gone to some shady clinic for an abortion, and things have been for that girl. So, I mean, I totally second whatever Kavita has said. Please talk to your kids.
If it is difficult for you as a parent, you don't know where to start and how to talk, please ask for help. Let a psychologist, a therapist talk to your child. At least your child will have the right information, and tomorrow they will know the right thing. What has to be done and what is not to be done.
What is the best age to tell them all this?
Before they get into college. At least before they get into the college. Because unfortunately, right now, boyfriend girlfriends has become a fad. So they have boyfriend girlfriends right from the 7th standard onwards.
There's a lot of peer pressure on kids. I'll tell you, being a mother to 2 teenagers.
I have a boyfriend. Why don't you have one?
Yeah, there's a lot of pressure which kids have just to have a boyfriend or a girlfriend because everybody else in the class has.
Yeah.
So
can you imagine the loneliness which children are going through? Why at such a young age they need this boyfriend girlfriend? It's only coming from the need to be accepted, feeling lonely, and not having anybody to hear them.
There's a pressure to dress up in a certain way. There's a pressure to have makeup in a certain way. There's a pressure of things which we wouldn't even have thought of in our childhood, but today's kids are going through those pressures.
One fine day, 14-year-old comes and
Yeah.
tells me, Mom, you know, I have put on weight. I need to get into the gym. I said, really? And she's like this, huh? Sukra, my daughter. Who told you have put on weight? And what is the answer I get? Boys don't look at me. I said, I'm so happy they don't look at you at this age.
I'll tell you simple pressure which my daughter is going through right now. She's in college. Their kids don't sleep before 2 o'clock. It's uncool to sleep before 2 a.m. She is actually going through this pressure. My daughter is going through this pressure right now where, because you have to get up in the morning, so her sleep is less. But she says that if I sleep early, then the next day, the kids say that, oh, you slept early, you missed out this, you missed out that. So that's also a kind of pressure.
Yeah. Then they give them FOMO. You know,
that's also the kind of pressure. I mean, who would have thought
learning all these new words nowadays? Because the first time a client told me, Auntie, I have FOMO. I said, could you please explain what is FOMO? You know, I said, you can see there's a lot of white hair. I don't understand all these things. He said, you don't know what is FOMO? I said, no, my dear, I don't know what is FOMO. Fear of missing out. We don't want to miss out anything.
I've spent the last week counseling my daughter on sleep patterns.
Bless you.
But see, the thing is that it's good because we have communication open. She comes back to me.
Exactly, that's what I'm again and again saying. Talk.
I mean, the kind of stories I'm hearing from her college, honestly speaking, the kind of pressures which I didn't think that they were pressures, but they are pressures right now for them.
They are huge pressures, Dipti.
iPhone is a pressure. iPhone is a pressure these days. Mama, yes. All my roommates are, in the floor, all the girls have iPhones. That's a pressure. It looks like silly, but believe me, it affects the kids.
It does, because then you are sidelined. They will not let you be a part of the group. Then isolation, fear of being alone. And again, FOMO. And that time, your child being grounded in her energy is so important. Where she can go and tell people that it's okay if I'm by myself. I'm not going in for an iPhone. But when will that confidence come from? Where is that going to come from? When the parents will have given that to the child, no? When the parents will have looked into the eyes of the child and said, you're fine the way you are. You don't need to change yourself just to be accepted.
I think another thing I'll add on to what Kavita said, it's also important to give confidence to your kids that you are there no matter what. There's no problem which is so bad that you can't come back to your parents.
Absolutely.
That's something you need to develop, that confidence in your kids.
And I'm very happy and I'm very proud to say that I gave that to my child at a very, very young age, where one fine day she comes home. She was, I think, in the 4th standard or something, and her shoe was in her hand. She gets down off the bus and her shoe was in her hand. And she's saying, Mama, I've beaten up a boy with the shoe. So if my teacher calls up, please take care of it. I said, don't worry. So she knew she could do what was required, and she knew she had a backup. So I got her home, I put her through a little piece and I said, okay, can you just tell me what has happened? So if tomorrow your teacher calls up, at least I know what I have to speak to her. So he said he was teasing me. He kept calling me a boy because I have a short hair and was irritating me, not letting me sit in my place. So I beat him up. I said, all right, I have the story. But where does this confidence come from? No, it's when we give it to them. When we tell them it's okay to stand up for what you believe in, I'm there for you. How many of you mothers have the courage to go and tell your daughters, even if you get pregnant before marriage, first come and tell me?
I've told her.
I've told her.
So something very interesting which I've told her is that in case, I mean, because sex is very rampant. So if you decide and you have sex with a guy, it doesn't mean you have to marry him because just because you're married. I actually had that
Extremely
conversation
important.
with her.
Yes,
She
I have
definitely-
had that conversation with her. Extremely important. Why? Because we come from that belief system,
Yeah.
no? That you have sex only with the man that you marry, right? Who's your husband. But is that what is the story today outside? No. And I'd rather have my child come and speak the truth to me than, you know, what happened to that 17-year-old that you were talking about. No.
Yeah.
If anything has to be handled, it had better be me. So if it time's changing, parenting is not going to change. We are in deep, 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 deep trouble. All right. So in case now that there are no more questions, Dipti, I think we'll take this up one more time, maybe after